welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast.
Another amazing one, by the way.
Exactly, because
It's
we're
gonna be great.
amazing. And we have a super amazing guest on today. McKenna, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
We've had a crazy week.
Oh, yeah.
But we've been planning this for a really long time, actually. This has been,
Yes.
I think, since like the beginning of us starting our podcast, probably like a month or two in, I was like, we should have McKenna on.
We just
Aww.
And then we had a lot of requests for like body image, and I was like, "This is
that's awesome."
what we need."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm honored that you would come on with us.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And we want to share it.
Yeah,
We want you to share it.
It's gonna be amazing.
So, yeah, a little intro. I'll just do a quick little intro about you. So this is McKenna. She's amazing. She has started this amazing Instagram page, and it's at Balance by McKenna. And it's a super amazing food, like balanced eating, like vegan eats recipes. And also, it's also your story about finding food freedom and recovering from an eating disorder, correct?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
inspiring. And it's been really inspiring for me to like see you be so open on Instagram about like hard for me or this kind of thing. So I love it. You're amazing. That's just my quick little bit about you. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell the world.
Yeah. My name's McKenna. I started that account probably, I think, in January this year. I started it just for fun. Like, I had been planning on starting it for a while, but I was like, no, I'm too nervous. Like, what are people gonna think? Then eventually I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna do it because I want to. Then I started it, and it's become this like thing where I've kind of like, I think I've like recovered through that account almost. Like, I've used it like to recover, not like that. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's kind of yeah.
That's
It's amazing.
But, yeah.
That's another example
About
of how, pop culture and media can be used really well. And I think that's where we have to find that balance between, because our generation is pretty addicted to our phones. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's great that you found that safe space in whole.
Yeah, and you're really changing the narrative instead of like, you're really filling up with like just really encouraging stuff. Amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
So just to like start off with our first question, like just like kind of like your testimony and like how did you find out, how did you like realize you were dealing with an eating disorder, and like what steps did you take to like first start recovering? What were you thinking?
Yeah, so I actually did not really know that I had one for a long time. So it all started in like, I think, summer of 2019. And it all started kind of like as I want to be like more toned, like more fit, because everyone's like getting ready for summer, that's coming. And so I was like, man, I guess I could be a little more like toned, like my stomach or like something like that. And I was like just wanting to lose a little bit of weight. And it just turned into this like addiction almost, like, and then it turned into like, okay, like how little can I eat? How like much can I restrict myself? And it was almost like, I don't know, like the less I ate, like the better I did in my mind. And then it got to the point where I was at such a low weight, I was like, I couldn't do anything really, like you could almost like see it in my eyes, like you couldn't, like I was a completely different person basically. And I didn't know that I had one for a long time. Like, I was just kind of like, no, I don't have an eating disorder. Like, I'm just eating really healthy. I'm just doing this, and like almost making up excuses for it. And then like my mom came up to me and she's like, I think you might like have an eating disorder. And I was like, yeah, I think so. So we just like sat and cried and talked about it. But it's just like, it's so scary, like admitting that you might have that. Yeah, it's a scary thing.
It's so real.
Wow, that's
so there was that. And then we kind of just like I went to the doctor for like a weigh-in, and that did not help at all. That did not help at all. And then we went again, and it was better because we actually knew that what I was struggling with and everything. And then I started counseling, and that's what really like helped me start recover, was like going to counseling and actually talking to someone about what was going on. Because like eating disorders, they never really have to do with the food aspect of it. It's more so like what's going on the inside, and it's like showing on the outside, and you like use it. Yeah, you just it's really interesting. It's really interesting. But yeah.
So good.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need a lot for a lot of teens, and teens from the US, teens from Romania. Like, this is advice to help multiple continents. So no pressure, you know.
Yeah. No pressure.
All of the teenagers like relying on you.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It's all on you, McKenna. Don't mess it up.
Like that you're real about saying that like you didn't know, because I think that's the case many times. You don't just wake up one day and you're like, you know what, I have an eating disorder, you know.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. You don't choose it either. It just like happens, and you're like, what? Didn't know that that would ever happen to me, but it did. And
wow, this is gonna help like a lot of people that I know, and it's so weird to think about it, because I realize that, oh, dude, that means that's not okay. And like, you know, people listening to this, they might not even know they have an eating disorder. People that eat like a piece of bread a day, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, or like, you know, and it's just so interesting to see how you don't realize it ever. Like,
I think it's super encouraging, like everything you're saying. And I also want to ask, like, when you started to recover, like, what are some, I mean, obviously looking back now, like after you started this account that I know has like impacted so many people, what are like some things you've learned, or you can look back on and be like, wow, like I'm really glad I noticed this, or I'm really glad I learned that?
That's a good question. I think honestly, like, that's a good question. I don't really. Can you say that again?
Okay.
So like,
so like after like now looking back a little bit, like the whole journey, like everything that you've gone through, and I know that you've shared some of these things before in your account, but just for like maybe like what are some things that some things you've learned, some things maybe some tips
to help you get out of
it. Okay, yeah. So I guess to how I started was like you just kind of have to do it. Like there's no like easy way out. There's nothing that's gonna be like, oh, let me just make this a little bit easier for you. It's like, no, you just gotta do it. Eating disorders are kind of like ruthless. Not to sound like super like intense, but kind of. So it's like you have to just like take it like head on. Like you just have to like, no, like I'm getting my life back. Like, no. I'm not gonna listen to this voice saying I can't eat this or eat this. Like you have to like take your life back. And you can start with little steps. Honestly, you can just be like, you know, like I'm gonna eat a little more today. I'm gonna eat this cookie instead of, you know, whatever. Or I'm gonna have someone else cook a meal for me instead of making it myself, because that can be really challenging sometimes too. Or sometimes people will be afraid to eat out or get like coffee or something, like I used to be, but now I get coffee every day. So it's like little things like that. You can just start out and then, you know, just go from there. Yeah.
You just gotta send it sometimes, huh?
Yeah, you just gotta be like, no, not anymore. Not anymore. And there have been times where I've been like, I've almost relapsed in a way where I've been like, oh man, I just really don't feel like doing this today. I really don't feel like challenging myself today. And it's okay. You can give yourself some grace, but then the next day you're just like, no, like I want my life. I'm getting it back.
Yeah, get out of the
for sure.
Yeah.
I also said before about like having like people in your life to like talk to with, because like I think we've said this in a lot of episodes, but like
Waffle Squad.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's really important to like have people around you that you can talk to and like
that is so true.
Mentor.
Yeah.
Because I think like, you know, when it comes to, you know, whatever people are struggling with, whether it's, you know, an eating disorder or whether it's, you know, comparison, body image, whether it's, you know, an addiction or whatever's happening, I think, you know, our immediate like response to it is like denial or like even like just I'm gonna hold it all in. Anyone. I really like that counseling was a really big part of your recovery because I think
it was.
I love it.
Yeah.
So our third question is how should someone approach somebody that is like struggling with an eating disorder or like body image or comparison, whether it's as big as an eating disorder or whether it's something as big as like I think I'm fat or whatever.
Like
talk to someone like that or even start to help them.
Yeah. So it's kind of a hard thing to like start talking about because some people they're just so like almost like ashamed of it. At least I was like, I just don't really want to talk about this. Like this is almost like embarrassing. Like I don't know. Like I'm not ready to talk about it. But like I don't think anyone's ever really gonna be ready to talk about it. I mean, some people might be, but I wasn't. And so I think you just have to be really you just have to listen. You just have to be there for them and you should be like, hey, like I want to know what's going on. Like I'm gonna listen. I'm ready to listen, like whenever you're ready to tell me what's going on, or like if you yeah, that's one thing. And also I think they just need love. They just need a whole lot of love. They just need to be reminded of who they are. They need to be reminded that they're loved. They need to be reminded of who God made them, like just all the good things, because they're oftentimes there's just almost like this hole where you're like, I'm this and this and this and this and this. And like you just kind of just tell yourself all these bad things about yourself. You're like, oh, I'm fat. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm this. And you kind of forget who you are. And then it turns into like eating disorders. And, you know, you compare yourself and you're like, I just don't know who I am. Like, I don't know how great I am. And so I think you need to just remind them like who they are. And yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Woo! That was, man.
So this is I love everything you said. That's amazing. Yeah. I don't even have anything to say yet because I haven't even processed yet.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah.
As more of like a really fun like practical question, I know we didn't talk about this, but as some of your recipes, how did you start to get like inspiration to start eating more? Because I look at your account and I already have I already have so much inspiration to start making these recipes and to like actually feed my body good things. So what inspired you?
Honestly, like I don't even know really. There were like it's honestly so funny. When I was struggling like a lot, I kind of like started to try more foods. Like I don't know where that came from. It was so weird because a lot of times people will like eat less foods, and that's what I did with some things. Like I wouldn't really eat sugar or like dairy or bread sometimes, which is so sad because I love bread. But but I actually started to try more foods. Like I tried hummus for the first time. I tried what else did I try? Like a bunch of different vegetables.
Okay, so what I'm used to is going to Trader Joe's.
I don't know.
And like buying that hummus and like a whole bag of carrots and then just like eating as much as possible.
It's so good.
When I moved here and there is no Trader Joe's here. It's really sad.
It's so sad. It's my favorite store.
Walmart, there's no Target, there's no.
But we'll make hummus.
Okay. We have. I never tried it.
I want to make hummus, so that'd be really fun. Sorry.
Yeah. Then I started making like my own stuff. I actually followed like a bunch of people, and I'm like, what are these things? Like, what are baked oats? Like, what is that? And so I started like making my own, and I'm like, wow, these are actually really good. And then I don't know, I just saw a bunch of fun recipes, and I started like kind of making my own.
I love it.
But yeah, kind of just trying new things.
Wow, that's amazing. Just getting out of your comfort zone like that, it's huge.
Oh yeah, it stretched me, but I was like, you know what? This is what I want. This is what I want. I can't like let that do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to restrict myself at all, so
good.
I'm gonna do it.
So the strength to do that, man.
What are, just to finish us off, what are your top 3 favorite foods? Favorite
foods.
favorite foods recipes
Oh,
you like to make?
oh my gosh, that's such a hard question. I love so many different foods. Dang, that's so hard because there are like old things that I loved in like my childhood that I like still have a special place for my heart, and then there are like other things that I like now. But okay, I'll just figure. So there's no like number one food that I like.
Right. That's tough.
It's just so hard. It's too hard. But I love oatmeal, which is so funny because I used to hate oatmeal. But the way I make it, it's so good. I'll do oatmeal. I love mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. Yeah. It has to be really good though. Like it can't be that like box stuff. No, it has to be like homemade, like with the fancy cheeses. That's my kind of mac and cheese.
Yeah, we use feta cheese, which
that's
it's not
weird.
American, but we
yeah.
or my aunt in Spain taught us how to do it.
That's actually probably really good though.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
What
else?
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to think of what else. There are so many, I'm sure.
Your baked, like even your basic oatmeal recipes.
I do.
I love. Go follow her. Go do all of her recipes. They're amazing.
Just baking and cooking a bunch of stuff.
We should do.
Yeah.
Alive.
Oh,
together.
We should.
Yes, we should. That would be so fun.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't think of another one. I just. What is that one thing? I love Thanksgiving foods. Is that like you guys like? I love like stuffing. Like the rolls are like my favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner. But and then we also make this like corn casserole almost. Like it's so hard to explain, but it's like it's the best thing ever. I love it so much. It's like that's probably my favorite food, honestly.
Okay.
So we'll do that. But I don't really like mashed potatoes.
That's okay.
I don't. I think they're bland, and I think there's just nothing special there. Yeah, so I like doing like roasted potatoes, and I'll like chop them up and like make them all like seasoned and like those are way better than mashed potatoes.
Well, as a Romanian, it's tradition. Like mashed potatoes is like
my dad has to have it.
Like like Sunday, it's like one of those after Sunday church time. Yeah. But like that's my family. Normal families that have 3-course meals every day have it like once every 2 days. And I'm like,
I would get so sick of mashed potatoes. I'm already sick of them. I'm like, I don't even eat them that much anymore, but like, oof, I can't do it. So many better ways.
Yeah.
I know. I love all the Thanksgiving foods.
But I want to know.
Excited. Wait, what?
I want to know your coffee order.
My coffee order? Oh, I get an oat milk vanilla latte. Like all the time.
I don't know.
All the time.
I've been buying oat milk lately so much.
And she drinks it out of a jar.
Yeah, I do my iced coffee in a jar with oat milk because I don't have theory. It's really sad.
Oh, that is so sad. That is actually so sad. I go there almost every day.
Just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good.
Buy a reusable coffee cup. Don't drink it out of a
jar. Jars are cool.
They are cool. I just don't have any. Otherwise, I would do that too.
You are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Yeah.
Great episode, and it enlightened
I'm so
me.
encouraged.
Yeah.
I know that everyone
Yay.
inspired and encouraged, and just I'm so
Awesome.
thankful for everything you brought today. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again, you guys. This was so fun.
It was a pleasure. We hope you come back for a
Yeah.
live.
We're gonna do
Heck
this.
yeah.
Down. We're
We're
totally
gonna do it.
go.
What should we make?
You have to tell us. You have to show us how to make
Oh,
some.
dang.
Oh,
All right.
you're blindfolded because you can actually cook, and then I'll be your arms.
Okay,
That'd
and
be
McKenna has
great.
to tell you everything.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That would be fun.
Something. We'll make it happen. We'll do it. I
Most
love
likely
it.
make it a mess, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, thank you to our listeners / watchers for sticking with us, sticking with us through this episode. It was. We hope that you had a good time and that you were as enlightened as we are and had such revelations. That's a big words.
Revel.
Woo! But yeah, make sure to follow McKenna's Instagram account and our
Yes.
Instagram account. I'm still gonna plug ours anyways because we need followers. So. And also make sure to stay tuned on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of those things because we post almost once a month. So
We post like every other something like that.
Sure. So, yeah,
I love
stay
it.
tuned for our next episode and for our live. So see you guys
We love you
later.
guys. Thank you again, McKenna.